What is the American dream to you? Is it a myth or a reachable goal? The American dream as we know it has been a beacon of hope and opportunity for many generations. It's the age-old belief that in this land of freedom and prosperity, anyone can achieve success and financial security through hard work and determination. But how did this dream come about? And how has it evolved over the years? The concept of the American dream was first coined in the early 20th century. It was a time when millions of people were flocking to America's shores, drawn by the promise of a better life. The dream was simple then: owning a home, having a secure job, and raising a family in a safe environment. As we moved into the middle of the century, the dream expanded. The post-war economic boom, the rise of the middle class, and the expansion of higher education opportunities gave people the chance to aspire for more. The dream was no longer just about survival. It was about upward mobility, about achieving greater success than the previous generation. But as we stepped into the new millennium, the dream started to change, and not necessarily for the better. The economic landscape shifted, with the cost of living skyrocketing and wages stagnating. The dream became more elusive, harder to reach. It was no longer just about hard work. It was about being in the right place at the right time, about having the right connections. The American dream, once a reality for many, has slowly eroded into a complex and challenging quest for financial prosperity. Today, it's more about survival than it is about thriving. It's about getting by rather than getting ahead. So we find ourselves asking, what does the American dream mean today? Is it still a beacon of hope and opportunity, or has it become a symbol of inequality and unfulfilled aspirations? Now let's delve into the current state of the American dream. Fast forward to 2023, what does the American dream look like today? Well, let's take a look at the hard truths. The American dream, the belief that everyone has an equal opportunity to achieve success and prosperity through hard work, determination, and initiative, seems to be gasping for air under the weight of some alarming trends. First, let's talk about the wealth gap. Over the past few decades, we've seen a shocking increase in wealth inequality. The richest 1% of the population holds more wealth than ever before, while the middle and lower classes struggle to keep up. The chasm between the haves and the have-nots has never been wider. Next, let's consider home ownership rates. Owning a home has long been a cornerstone of the American dream, a symbol of personal achievement and financial security. But today, home ownership is on the decline. Fewer people are buying homes, and those who do are saddled with massive mortgages and crippling debt. The dream of owning a home has become a nightmare for many. And then, there's the issue of stagnating wages. Despite rising costs of living and inflation, wages have remained largely stagnant, making it increasingly difficult for the average American to make ends meet. People are working harder, longer hours, yet their paychecks barely cover the essentials. The promise of prosperity through hard work seems more elusive than ever. So we're seeing a triad of troubling trends: widening wealth inequality, declining home ownership, and stagnating wages. These are not just statistics. These are real issues affecting real people, eroding the very foundations of the American dream. The American dream, once a beacon of hope and opportunity, seems to be dimming. It's not the rosy picture of prosperity and upward mobility it once was. Instead, it's becoming a story of struggle, of an increasingly elusive quest for financial security and a better life. Clearly, the American dream seems to be fading. But why is this happening? Let's dig deeper into the root causes in our next scene. A myriad of factors are contributing to the erosion of the American dream. Let's explore them. At the heart of the decline is the growing economic inequality. Over the last few decades, the gap between the wealthy and the poor has widened dramatically. While the top 1% has seen their wealth grow exponentially, the middle class has stagnated, and the poor have become poorer. It's as though we're living in two different Americas, where the rich get richer and the poor struggle to keep their heads above water. The second significant factor is the lack of access to quality education. Education has always been seen as the ladder to upward mobility, the key to achieving the American dream. But these days, that ladder is becoming harder and harder to climb. In some parts of the country, schools are underfunded and understaffed, making it difficult for students to receive the education they need to succeed in life. College, once seen as an accessible pathway to a better life, has become a financial burden for many, with student loan debt skyrocketing. Lastly, we must talk about the rising cost of living. From housing to healthcare, the cost of basic needs has outpaced wage growth. People are working longer hours, often juggling multiple jobs, just to keep the lights on and put food on the table. The dream of owning a home, once a cornerstone of the American dream, is now out of reach for many. But it's not just about numbers and statistics. It's about real people, with real hopes and dreams, who are finding it increasingly difficult to achieve what they once thought was within their reach. It's about the erosion of hope and the growing sense of disillusionment that many feel. These factors have made the American dream more elusive. But what does this mean for future generations? The decline of the American dream has far-reaching implications. What does this mean for the future? As we look ahead, we need to consider the potential impact on the generations to come. The erosion of the American dream isn't just an issue for today's adults, it's a challenge that our children and their children may have to grapple with. The ongoing financial instability and the widening wealth gap could mean that the promise of a better life, of upward mobility, becomes increasingly elusive for many. Imagine a future where the dream of owning a home, of securing a stable job, or of providing a better life for your children becomes a distant illusion for the vast majority. This isn't just about individual dreams and aspirations, it's about the fabric of our nation. The American dream has been a driving force behind the country's innovation, its entrepreneurial spirit, and its economic growth. As it fades, we could see a decline in these areas. We could see a nation that's less ambitious, less innovative, less dynamic. Moreover, the erosion of the American dream could exacerbate social inequalities and tensions. If only a select few can access the opportunities that once defined the American experience, resentment and disillusionment could grow, further dividing our society. And there's a real danger that as the dream becomes less attainable, people could lose faith in the institutions that are supposed to support them. Trust in government, in the financial system, in the education system could all diminish, leading to a more fragmented and polarized society. But let's not forget, the future isn't written in stone. The course we're on can be altered. It's a daunting task, no doubt, but not an impossible one. We've faced great challenges before and have risen to meet them. It's in our DNA as a nation. The future of the American dream looks bleak. But is there a way to revive it? That's the question we'll explore in our next scene. Stay tuned as we delve into potential solutions and strategies for restoring the promise of the American dream. The American dream may be fading, but it's not dead. There are potential solutions that can revive it. As we grapple with the erosion of the American dream, it's crucial to explore avenues for its revival. This isn't an impossible task. It requires concerted efforts across different sectors of our society. To breathe life back into the dream, we must focus on policy changes, societal shifts, and individual actions. For starters, let's talk about policy changes. It's high time our policymakers took a hard look at the economic policies steering us. We need to promote policies that foster economic growth, reduce wealth inequality, and provide opportunities for all. This includes reforming tax laws to ensure the wealthy pay their fair share, increasing minimum wages, and investing in education to equip individuals with the skills needed for the jobs of tomorrow. But policy changes alone won't cut it. We also need a societal shift. Society as a whole needs to reevaluate its values and priorities. We need to foster a culture that values hard work, innovation, and fairness over instant gratification and excessive accumulation of wealth. This shift in societal values will play a key role in restoring the American dream. Finally, individual actions also play a significant role. Each of us has the responsibility to make choices that contribute to a more equitable society. This could be as simple as supporting local businesses, advocating for fair wages, or volunteering in our communities. We can also prioritize education and lifelong learning to ensure we remain competitive in the evolving job market. The challenge is enormous, but so is the potential reward. By embracing these changes, we can work towards a society where prosperity is within everyone's reach, not just a privileged few. This isn't merely about restoring the American dream, it's about creating a more equitable, prosperous, and fair society. The American dream is a fundamental part of our nation's identity. It's up to us to ensure it doesn't become a forgotten ideal.